Okay, well, I think we are recording. So I'm so glad you made it today to the webinar about the 2020 marketing plan for tree service contractors. It's going to be a comprehensive approach to your internet marketing for your local market, as opposed to some of the other webinars where we did bite-sized chunks, maybe the PPC or the SEO, or maybe how to get your website to convert. This one's going to be, on the other hand, about everything with your internet marketing strategy. So I want to show you, let me go ahead and share my screen so you can kind of see what that looks like. All right, so hopefully everybody can hear that. We've actually got a chat box too, so if you want to, if you have any questions, you can type in a chat in the box. This is going to be basically your 2020 internet marketing plan. And let's go to the next slide here. And really what we're going to go for, let's go back to the next one, actually. Oh, if I can actually get this one to go back, let's see. Okay, so what we're going to cover today is going to be how to set goals for 2020. How many leads to hit your target? So if you want to go to X amount of revenue, how are we going to hit those revenue targets? The 3 fundamentals to marketing success, how to optimize your website for conversion in 2020 and beyond, the big picture of all the online marketing channels you should be tapping into to maximize your lead flow online, the latest trends that you need to focus on in 2020, which is right around the corner. And develop a custom action plan based on where you are today and where you want to go. So what we always talk about with tree service marketing is the digital dominance method. And really it's the same for every niche as far as what you need to be doing. But in tree service, we kind of got it down to a science. So the first thing is going to be your website built to convert. And then you also want to show up for all your key terms in your local market on your main website so that people can find you and actually call you for an estimate, get in touch with you. The second thing is going to be PPC, which is your Google Ads, your pay-per-click marketing, which is going to basically blanket a huge radius in your city so that you can scoop up more calls for people looking for tree work as well. The third thing is going to be retargeting. So everybody that's landing on your website or your landing page is going to end up seeing ads about you on Google partner sites, Facebook, so they can kind of come back into your web and maybe call you later if they didn't call the first time. Paid online directories is going to be Yelp, Angie's List, Home Advisor, Thumbtack. Repeat and referral business is email marketing, where you can email out offers to your current database. How to trim your trees in the winter. Call us for a free estimate. Different things like that. Home Advisor, pay per lead, networks, Thumbtack. This is if you want to get everywhere in your local market. Social media advertising, actually, it does help for branding, but a lot of the emergency work just comes straight from Google. And then you can offer gift cards and referral program as well. So that's basically the digital dominance method. But if you want to learn the most out of today's webinar, go ahead and turn off your cell phone. I actually got mine off today. I remembered to put it on mute. Usually it goes off during this thing too. And then turn off your Facebook. If you're serious about doubling or tripling the leads that you pull from your Google ads for tree service and your tree service marketing for your website, everything else, the next 30 to 45 minutes are going to be critical. If you stay to the end, I'm going to go ahead and give you the ultimate internet marketing checklist for tree service contractors for free. I'll show you the link exactly where to go get it. And it's going to teach you pretty much in depth about the entire digital dominance method. So who am I and why should you listen to me? So I've been in the internet marketing space for close to 10 years. I specialize in my business, Tree Service Digital, specializes in tree service contractor marketing. So we just know what works specifically for tree service contractors, your business. Expert web development and digital marketing team behind me. We've worked with dozens of tree service contractors across the US, and we just know what works to generate new business for tree service contractors. And I'm also a member of the same organizations and associations you are, the ISA and TCIA. And I love those organizations, they're great. So why the internet? Well, there's a major transition from offline to online probably about 8 to 10 years ago. Statistics tell us that more than 77% of consumers go online when looking for tree service. There are over 10 million searches every month for tree service, tree removal, tree trimming, across the globe. And you just need a little bitty part in your local market to get 100 calls a month, for example. This is going to help you increase your sales, enhance your online reputation, drive more calls, leads, and profits, and increase repeat and referral business from your current customers and their relatives and family and friends and things like that. So, question, and you can type in the chat box if you have any answers that you want to type in there. I'll answer them the best I can, but What's the hardest part about marketing your tree service business online? If you have, any kind of questions like that. Well, let's go back. So, a lot of people, in the past, basically would just, put up ads in some of the online papers or, yellow page books. And this was 20, 30 years ago. And you could actually spend a lot of money with the yellow pages and put up a double page fold out ads, for example. And you probably spend 5, 6 grand a month and you're listed as a billboard in the yellow pages when somebody goes to the tree service section. Well, that's kind of long gone. People just don't use these anymore for that. Basically, they just toss them in the recycling bin or burn them in the outside barrel, right? That's about all they do with these things. So where do the customers go? Well, 97% of customers that are looking for a tree service contractor are going to be on the internet. The places where they hang out are Google. About 90% of the search volume is going to be Google, maybe 85, 90%. Some of it's Bing and Yahoo, which is kind of together. And then you've got Yelp, which that's more of a restaurant type local business lookup thing, but it still gets a little bit of traffic. So how do you own the internet in your local market, in your area? So some of the, people have tried a few different things, in the past, like Yellow Pages tried to move to digital. And so then they tried to get most of their clients that were paying for those Yellow Page ads in the book to transition into online Yellow Pages, yp.com, and then run ads there. The only problem with that is most people don't go to yp.com or yellowpages.com to look something up. They just type it into Google. So then, they missed the boat. They spent money that didn't work there. So really the best place to be is going to be on Google search, right? You want to be at the top of the page. You want to be in the maps. And then, you want to be below that in the organic. That's what's going to drive the most calls. So what do they need to do to get their internet marketing right to transition into this new age? Well, you want to rank on the search engines for the tree service related keywords in your area. And you're going to need a website that's going to convert visitors to callers, not an older website, but a newer one that's mobile responsive. It looks good on a mobile device, just as good on a desktop. And that way, when people find your website, they're more than likely going to call, or they're going to put their information in for a free estimate or a contact form. So what that looks like is, you want to be everywhere on the internet. So if you see here, this is the top, this is the Google AdWords up here. So you want to be there if you want to, get a lot more calls within like a 20, 30-mile radius. But you want to be number 1 or number 2 or number 3 in the map section. That really, really helps those local searches, because a lot of people are on their phone and they'll do a search like, tree service near me. And then Google's going to show them those relevant results right there nearby. And so if they're in your area and they find you, they're going to call for a quote. They're going to call for an estimate on the tree. And then, subsequently too, you want to be right below the maps as well. So you're just everywhere on that first page. They really have no way of not running into you at some point when they do the search, right? So this is how to dominate. We'll go back over this again. Is to have a website that converts and basically get your SEO right in the local market so that you show up for the main keywords: tree service, tree trimming, tree removal, tree cutting, land clearing, lot clearing, forestry mulching, whatever that is you want to target, that's where you want to be. And then PPC, Google AdWords, so that you blanket a complete radius around you so that you're not just in one local market, you're like everywhere. And then you want to do retargeting as well, so that the people that maybe found you the first time, maybe they didn't call, maybe they didn't put their information there, maybe they just didn't have time that day. But since they landed on your website, for the next 90 days, they're going to see ads about your company on Facebook and Google partner sites, and they're going to remember to call you if they need tree service. Number 4, paid online directories, which is like Yelp, yp.com, Angie's List. 5, repeat and referrals, pay per lead, like Home Advisor, Thumbtack, social media, and the referral program for your current client base. That's how to dominate. So what it means to dominate online for tree service. So we had a client, they went from about 15 to 20 calls per month in 2018 to 80 calls per month in 2019, and over a $1 million annual increase in revenue. Now, they had the crews and they had the office and they had people answering the phones and booking the appointments very efficiently, but that's what it could look like if you really increase your call volume. It's just a numbers game. People need tree service work. They're going to get 2 or 3 quotes, and they're going to go with who they're most comfortable with. So if you've got a good family business, you've got a good marketing message, which we're going to get into next, then they're going to more than likely go with you. And they're on pace to do $2 million this year in revenue. They expanded from 6 guys to 12 guys in the field. That's roughly 4 crews. And the confidence that they will have consistent and sustainable lead flow. So question, what would it mean for your business, if you could get that many calls per month? If you got to have a system in place. It really helps to have like a management software like Jobber or Tree Plotter or something like that, where you can like type in the information of your client. Everybody's on the same page, generate estimates right from there. But it all starts with the marketing and actually getting the leads in the first place. But what would that mean for your business if you could actually get that, right? What would that mean? That would mean a lot. So going back to the 2020 Internet Marketing Plan, number one is to get this basically going, you need to set clear goals, right? So if you don't know where you're going, you're probably not going to get there. The old saying goes, or there's a couple other ways to say that too. But what are your goals for 2020, right? I mean, success is goals. Everything else is just commentary. You've got to kind of hit your annual, quarterly, and then monthly targets in a way that you can kind of break it down. So clear goals kind of puts wind in your sails. So it kind of like, it puts the wind behind you. So it pushes you forward because you kind of know where you're going or you want to go. And then you just kind of simply back the numbers in there as far as like how many leads I need to get, which turns into how many jobs, what's my average job invoice, etc. And we're going to go through all that. So it just really helps you kind of crystallize what that looks like. So several years ago, probably, I guess it was probably 40 years ago, almost, there was a Harvard study, and they interviewed some people in 1979 of graduate students, and it was 84% of the graduate students had no goals. They had no idea what they wanted to do after college. Kind of sounds like me. And then 13% had goals, but they didn't have them written down. But 3% out of all those people they interviewed had clear written goals and plans to accomplish those goals. The results were pretty crazy. I mean, it's kind of what you would think probably if you know about goals and how to put together goals. 13% of the class who had goals were earning on average twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all. Even more, the 3% who had clear written goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97% put together. So same thing with your business. If you have goals and you know where you want to go, like maybe you're doing 500K and you want to go to 1 million. Maybe you're doing 1 million, you want to go to 3 million. What does that look like as far as your business goes? How many leads do I need to get? So the goal setting framework can look like this. You have to have written goals and plans. You need to set at a minimum these 3 that we talked about just a minute ago, like a yearly goal, your quarterly goals, kind of break it down just a little bit more granular, and then monthly goals. And so, have a stopping point at the beginning of each new year and at the end of each quarter to reflect how you did based on what you set for your goal and what you're going to go doing, forward, what you're going to do moving forward. If you didn't hit it, what do I need to adjust? If you did hit it, great, celebrate and keep doing the same thing, or either ratchet up. Maybe your goal was not ambitious enough. So what are your goals for 2020? And you can write this down. You can just kind of put it together for yourself. I mean, what's your revenue target? Like, what do you want to hit? If that's 1 million in annual sales, great. That's a great goal. That's $85,000 per month in revenue. So how much is that monthly? It's 85,000. How many calls will that require? Maybe that's 100 calls, 150 calls a month. It depends on how many referrals you get to and how much repeat business you get to. What is your average transaction value, on all those leads and all those jobs? So what are your goals for 2020? Here's an example. So let's say you want to hit 1.5 million in 2020 for your tree service business. How much is that monthly? Well, that's roughly 125K per month. What is your average transaction value? So let's say it's 600 bucks, 700 bucks. You may be a tree service contractor who does $1,000 average jobs. So that's going to affect how many leads you need, how many closed jobs you need. So that would require roughly 200 calls per month when I did the math before this thing. So that may be a little off, or maybe a little bit higher or lower based on how many referrals and how many repeat business that you already get. But adding more leads and sufficient lead flow is going to help you definitely increase your revenue. So how many leads will you need? What's your average conversion rate from a caller to a booked call? So let's say you get 10 calls. Are you going to book 4? Are you going to book 5 jobs out of those 10 calls? If that's the case, then you just kind of back the numbers and, okay, I got 5 jobs out of those 10 calls. I need 30 jobs a month, that means I need 60 calls a month to get 30 jobs a month, or whatever that number looks like. New leads, fresh leads, people that just find me and looking me up on Google. So how many leads do you need? So what's your average conversion rate from your caller to booked call? If it's 50% and you need 200 jobs, then that's 400 leads per month, right? You just kind of can do the math. I mean, most of you guys have probably got a lot of referral and repeat business, so that's going to skew these numbers a little bit. You're not going to need that many calls. So what is your goal for 2020? You can write it down. How many leads will you need to get there? What does that look like for you guys? So if you have any questions and answers, or if you have any chat, let me see if I got the chat open here. Yeah, if you have any, so the chat's open. If you have any questions, you can always punch it in. It's anonymous. Nobody knows you're sending in a message or anything like that. But so the next thing we want to do after we define our goals clearly, then we want to update our marketing message, right? So if you want to update your marketing message, let's do this. Let's see. So let's see. Well, that was kind of loud. That's the office phone. I have my cell phone off, but not that phone. So the fundamentals are going to be for your marketing message. It's going to be message, market, and then media. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your message? What's your unique selling proposition in your tree business? Family owned and operated is real good. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. 100% customer satisfaction. There's a lot of different little taglines you can use to make people feel comfortable to go with you. 10% off veterans. There's a lot of them. And so who is your ideal customer? So the first thing we want to figure out is who our customer is, right? And most of the time for you guys, not everybody, because some people do more commercial work than residential, et cetera. But your ideal customer is going to be who it is that you usually do jobs for, right? And you want to know what their pains and frustrations are. You want to know their fears and implications of hiring you, their goals and desires, their dreams and aspirations too. Because they're just like you. They're just, they're looking to hire somebody. They need the work done. They need a business to do it. And they want to feel comfortable making that decision. So who's your ideal customer? So demographics typically in the tree service business, if you're doing it for residential, it's going to be a homeowner. They're going to be 35 years old or above. Typically a female, occasionally a male, married with kids, head of household, 65,000 annual household income or median and up, because they have the money and the budget and disposable income to get these jobs done if they need it. They want somebody that's reliable, easily frustrated if people don't show up or call. So you got to keep that in mind. You want to make sure you make all your customers happy. Likes to please and please people and expects the same in return. Their pains and frustrations are maybe they got a dangerous or unsightly tree. They can't get a tree service company on the phone to return their call. So that's kind of a big deal. Answering your phone and making sure you're available if somebody needs something. Need to get tree issue resolved. Too busy to deal with it. They can't do it themselves, or they just don't have the equipment. Maybe it's 60 feet in the air. They're worried that the situation at the house could be unhealthy for the family. So that could be their pains and frustrations. So the fears is being ripped off or overcharged, right? You probably have that same fear if you call a plumber or septic tank company or any type of contractor. You're just not real sure. Their fear is paying too much for something they could have gotten elsewhere, having home damage by faulty workmanship, having to wait around for the tree guy to arrive at the home for hours and hours with no call, explanation, none of that. That's a fear. Being inconvenienced with trying to coordinate with the tree contractor, right? So maybe they say they're going to be there 12, and then they don't get there till like 5, and then you miss the appointment, and you guys can't meet up. That's a fear. That's an inconvenience. So their goals is to get the issue fixed. They want to get the tree problem fixed, or get the trimming done or whatnot. They want the issue behind them because they got a busy life just like you do. They want a well-kept home, take care of their family, more income, money, and wealth, live in a nicer, more luxurious car, drive a nicer car. They want their kids healthy, happy, and successful, spend more time with family. That's who your ideal customer is. They're pretty much just like you. If you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys, right? So craft your message properly, and we'll get into some of that right now. This is what works for some of our clients and what they've been using. What is your message? So you could just kind of write these down if you want to write them down. Why should someone choose to do business with you versus the other 5, 10, 15 tree contractors in your area? Maybe that's 10% off for seniors. Maybe that's we're family owned and operated. Maybe that's 30 years in business. Maybe that's certified arborist on staff. Maybe that's, 100 Google reviews. There's a lot of different things you can like put in front of the customer to make them feel good about going with you. And we can help you with that if that's something that you wanted to look at. What benefits do you offer that target your customer will resonate with? And that kind of goes to what we were just talking about. So 100% customer satisfaction, that means if they're not happy with the work, they feel good, they can call you to come back out to fix it, right? So those are the things that you want to kind of just think about for your specific business. Here's some messaging that works, and we just kind of talked about it. Same day service, emergency services, 24-hour service, on-time service is real big because people, it's kind of like when you call the cable company or something, they give you a window of like 5 hours. And I know it's tough because sometimes jobs run over, but I think just that communication with them, letting them know there's going to be a little bit late goes a long way. Straightforward pricing, upfront pricing, satisfaction guaranteed, free estimates, that's good messaging. People like, whoa, okay, you can come out and just let me know what it's going to cost first. Okay, well then it brings down their barrier, it brings down their guard, and they're more likely to call or put their information in on your website to get you to come out. Trustworthy technicians or trusted technicians, experienced, licensed, and insured, certified arborist, those types of things. And you can make the case that, fast same-day service, money-saving offers, like I said, for 10% off seniors, 10% off veterans, et cetera. 24 hours emergency, friendly service crews, that's a big one. Hey, we're friendly. We like working with you. We're gonna have a good time when we're doing the work. We'll leave your yard cleaner than we found it, because one of their fears is their yard's gonna be trashed after you leave, right? Like you're gonna leave all the limbs and sticks everywhere. Great service guaranteed. 100% customer satisfaction. So just by answering those questions and putting those things on your website, that's going to help people feel more comfortable to call you when they land on your website. If you get it rebuilt, make it look really, really nice, got a lot of Google reviews, all that stuff. So now we can look at the media. So what's your message? So just going back to that. So what's your message? You can write down like what your message would be. Just, you can put it down and just say, look, this is what we're going to do moving forward. We're going to update our website with this new message. Make sure you put these things into action though, because again, these things do work for getting people to call, because they got a real quick time frame to make a decision, to make a call, to your office or to the next tree guy. So these things on your website, these things on your Google listing, these things on your Facebook page, they all make a difference for them to call you over the competition. So the next thing is make sure your hub, which is your website, converts, right? Make sure your website converts. So when somebody lands there, make sure it's not just like an old like template that they barely can read the words. It's really tiny, wasn't built for 2019 or 20 internet. It was built before mobile phones were big on search. So you got to make sure. I've seen a lot of tree service websites still not mobile responsive, and that's a big deal. With getting people to give you a call. It's like a huge deal, really. I mean, it's one of the main things. So your website's the hub. So all of this other stuff you do, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, social media, LinkedIn, all these other things, YouTube, people are going to click on a link back over to your website when they find you on these other channels. And, once they find you and they click on it and they're on your website better be good or else you're going to lose them. So for example, if 100 people visit your website, and you've got a really, really bad website, and let's say 70% of those people are on a mobile device and they can't click a button to call your office, or that there's no free estimate form on the homepage where they can just put their information in, they're going to bounce. They're going to bounce and they're going to go to somebody else's website who's easy to navigate. They've got to click a whole button to make a call. So those things are really, really important. You may be thinking like, why am I not getting any leads? Well, it goes back to your website. Is your website good? Is it built for this new internet, this new way people search, and everybody's on their phones? So you got to have it where it looks good when you're on a computer, but when you're on a mobile device, it shrinks up to the size of the screen, and it actually modifies and edits to the size of the screen where it just looks really good when they're on their phone, right? So that's really important. That's big. Is your website set up to convert visitors to callers? So this is one of our clients' new websites. I mean, it's 24-hour emergency services, all their social media plugins, logo, you've got certified arborist, ISA member, best tree services, 20 years in service, clickable phone number, get a free estimate right here, right on the header, right? You can't miss it, So if somebody is just ready to get an estimate right now, you want to give them that opportunity to go ahead and punch their info in and get that free estimate. And guess what? That comes right to your email, and you can be on the phone with them in 2 minutes. And then your main keyword, which is like tree service your city. And then, a good photo, good clear photo of your business, kind of like those personal photos of your business. So here's some other things too, like that we make sure everything is on the website properly so that, it converts when somebody gets there. So here's kind of like what you want. So if you look right here, this is like your website here. So you want the logo at the top left, right? All your navigational menu buttons there, phone number in the top right, your social media plugins up there so they can click around and make sure you're a real business. Satisfaction guaranteed, call to action, trust icons. So you want like the ISA, TCIA, maybe if you're a member of the BBB or if you're a trusted home advisor, tree service company, those are really good too to give people that warm and fuzzy feeling to call you. You also want testimonials on the homepage. And then you want the contact us form. You see right here, the free estimate form where you hit submit. You want that right there at the top so that they can do that if they want. And you could add like chat service, different things like that. And you want your address, all that stuff at the footer. And here's how it looks on mobile. See, on mobile, it just kind of shrinks and looks really good on their mobile device. And you see this little button that says click to call? That's what I was talking about. So they can just tap that with their thumb to make a call to your office. And it just makes it easier. So therefore, you're going to get more leads with the same amount of people visiting your website that already are. So is your website set up for conversion? Does it speak to your target avatar? So your avatar is your target customer. Does it address their fears and frustrations and why they should choose you? Does it have a real authentic image of your team on your homepage and throughout the website, like your trucks, your team, you guys in action, maybe some videos? Does it include videos? Does it include a welcome video? Some of these things just really go a long way in getting more people to call your business over somebody else. Videos explaining why someone should contact you versus the competition. Does it showcase your online reviews more prominently on the homepage with a tool like Bird Eye or Review Buzz? We've actually got a good review tool too that helps you get a ton of Google reviews, really easy. And those reviews go a long way with your Google Map listing rankings. Does it make it easy for them to take action and get in contact with you, like the free estimate forms and the calls? Is your phone number in the right-hand corner at the top? Ensure that there's a web form that customers can fill out. Add credibility with authority symbols like the ISA, TCIA, Better Business Bureau. All those logos make a difference. People think that you're a stand-up tree contractor when you have those on the website. Are there calls to action on each page? So even if you're on the services pages, tree removal, tree trimming, land clearing page, is there a click to call button there? Is there a free estimate form there? Those are important too, because sometimes they'll just go ahead and fill it out there. Are you giving them the opportunity to do chat? I would say that's sort of important. You could add that if you wanted to. So the action items are, what 3 conversion elements will you implement on your website? So this is just for you to write down, like what would you do now on your current website? If you could add it or get in touch with your web team, just add them to, ask them to add like the click to call button, the free estimate form, maybe a chat feature, and then make sure you got your social media plugins. There's icons, for ISA, TCIA, Better Business Bureau, Angie's List, Home Advisor, Thumbtack, certified contractor. All those things really, really help. So that was just for you. You can write those down. So what are the takeaways? What did you learn about that section? What did you notice? What would you like to share? If you'd like to share anything, just let me know. You can punch it in there. So Charles asked about, what about charging for estimates? It eliminates the bottom feeders. Sure, you could. I mean, you could charge for estimates. You could have like a, $39 trip charge, $59 trip charge to charge for an estimate. You just want to kind of make sure you break down that barrier so that you get more leads. If maybe you just say free estimates or say get an estimate. If you wanted to charge for those estimates, that's perfectly fine. Just maybe don't put get a free estimate on the website. Put like just get an estimate, schedule your estimate, something like that. That way, they don't think they're getting it free. And so whenever you call them, you can say, okay, well, our trip charge is $29, especially if it's, 30 miles away, an hour drive or something like that. Just a low enough trip charge to where they don't feel uncomfortable paying it. If you charge them $200 for a trip charge, they may just not do it, because it's too much. But I understand what you're saying. You don't want to be driving around all day without getting a job. But yeah, so just, write those things down. So the third thing was, this next section is to know and track your KPIs, which is your, key performance indicators. So just you want to know with your leads, like what's going on, like how many leads I got, how much I spent for the month, how much the cost per lead is. When I factor in everything, my ad spend with Google, SEO cost, the phone calls, the free estimate forms, all the leads I got from everywhere. What does that look like? You want to track that stuff, because then when you know it works, you can pour more gas on the one that's working really, really well, and then you can eliminate stuff that's not working, right? It's not converting. So it's really good to track all these things. So far, let's go over kind of what we've went through so far. So clear goal and targets for 2020, which would be your revenue targets. Like, what do you want to accomplish next year? How many leads, how many calls, how many jobs, how much revenue? How does that look monthly, quarterly, yearly? Clarity around your market, your message, and your media, right? Like, what is your message? We've made sure your website is optimized for conversion. So if it's not now, then it might be a good time to look at that, because another year is going to go by. And if you still got that old website where people find it, but they don't convert, then you're missing out on probably who knows how many leads. It could be 30 leads a month. It could be 50 leads a month, depending on how much website traffic you're getting. So you want to make sure your website is built to convert those people that find it. And I can tell you, we've seen a huge difference in really updating a website to a newer website versus one of the old ones. And then, set up a simple key performance indicator tracking dashboard, so you kind of know all those metrics. So the next one is just build out your 2020 plan. Let's build out your 2020 plan and see what that looks like. So what does it look like? So again, it kind of goes back to what we've already went through, which is the digital dominance method. That's getting your website and SEO right. That's doing your pay-per-click in the radius and the areas you want to work. It's retargeting all those visitors. That's getting in Yellow Pages, paid online directories to get more leads there. Repeat referral business. Like you could, if you've got a list, you could do email marketing to your list once a month. Pay per lead. That's Home Advisor, Thumbtack. As much as people hate those sometimes, it does work in getting more volume. So sometimes you get jobs from that too. Social media advertising, and then a referral program where you pay people $200 for a referral, tickets to the football game, for a referral, whatever you want to do. So key trends for 2020 are coming up. So Google local service ads are big. I don't know if you've seen those, but in a lot of the bigger metro markets, I'm not sure what the Google threshold is for population. I think it's like 200 or 300,000, but there's these local ads at the very, very top of the page that says Google guaranteed. And so you have to go through a little vetting process to get qualified with Google to be a Google guaranteed contractor, but that's good. And we're getting some pretty good feedback about that. So it's a shift from phone conversion to message conversion too. So if your office is able to kind of text with clients, message with them in different areas like Facebook and maybe your website, maybe your phone system, you can text with people. That really helps to convert a little bit more of your clients. That's kind of, everybody's kind of moving that direction. You know how it is. I mean, a lot of people just want to text. They don't want to talk on the phone. But a lot of people still do. So you need to do all of those things to maximize your lead flow. Must have an all-in perspective with your search engine optimization in your website, your pay-per-click marketing, your local service ads, and social media. So you want to do like everything so that everywhere people turn, they're going to see XYZ tree service. Like they just can't miss it. So when they think about a tree service or when they need tree service, they're just going to think to call you. So here's Google local services. If you look at the top of the page, it really just depends on your local city. So if you're in a major city, more than likely they're there, right? It's right here at the very, very top. Because they look for certain populations, I believe, is what the metric is with Google. But they're always changing, so trying to figure them out is tough sometimes as far as what their threshold is. But it's at the very, very top. These are the Google guaranteed ads up here. And then right below that is the Google AdWords. So it's going to be these top, ones you see where it says Google guaranteed. And you'll see a Google guaranteed badge right underneath that contractor. So if you do a search for like tree service near me or tree contractor near me, and you're in a major city, you're going to see these ads at the very, very top. It goes right across horizontal of the page, and it's going to have like the name of the tree company, and then it's going to have like Google guaranteed with a checkbox, and then a lot of the reviews. And so that's the Google guaranteed, Google Home Services. So I think what they're trying to do is like put out like Home Advisor, Thumbtack, because I don't think they're friends. You know, they don't like Thumbtack and Home Advisor because they want everybody going to Google. They want Google. Google wants everybody clicking on Google stuff. Period. So here's where it's active. It's active from coast to coast. Google Home Services. So it's on the West Coast. It's on the East Coast. Again, it just depends on your city and it depends on the population. If you're a major city, more than likely it's in your city. So it's something to look into. You know, if you're already ranked pretty high in SEO, you feel like you're getting good results with that, and you're doing Google AdWords, and you're still not getting enough lead flow, I would say this Google Home Services, Google Local Ads, Google Guaranteed is going to be kind of your next step. That's a good one too because it's at the very top of the page, right? So how it impacts the search results is kind of going back to that 2 or 3 slides ago. It's going to be at the very, very top of the page. You can see it here where it's like 3 going across the top. And then you got Google AdWords below it. So it's a very, very, very top result for tree service, tree contractor, tree removal. So it's at the very, very top if it's in your city. And then below that, still the Google Ads. And then you've got the maps below that. Oh, oops. And then, so then below that's going to be the actual organic rankings below that. So you're going to want to make sure that you want to be in all these spots. It really helps if you're in every single spot. So feedback from active users on the Google local services is it's a lower cost per lead than Google AdWords pay-per-click in some cases. It's usually like maybe 10 to 20% lower cost per lead when you're in that Google Guaranteed section. Higher quality leads than Home Advisor or Thumbtack, of course, because they're calling you directly instead of Home Advisor sending you a lead, and then you got to fight over it and call them, and 5 other tree guys are calling it. So it's definitely higher quality leads. And still, you're still going to get some price shoppers. There's really no way to eliminate that. There's just, when you're dealing with the public, there's no way to just laser focus on everybody that's going to buy on the first call. There's just no way. So the best thing to do is just get as many leads as you can, handle them as professionally, as efficiently as you can, and then just follow up with them. They're eventually probably going to buy. And so a solid return on investment for most of the clients who have jumped on board with Google Local Services. So what you should do now, if you do want to get involved with Google Local Services, Google Guaranteed, is go to this link right here. It's adwords.google.com and then /local services /sign up. So it's Google AdWords. It's adwords.google.com /local services /sign up. So I'll leave that there for a second. You can kind of take it down if you want to, but complete your back. So it's a kind of a vetting process. So since they say Google Guaranteed at the top, it just means that you're a guaranteed contractor, you're an actual business, and they've already vetted you. So people apparently feel comfortable with that. They're not really sure how it's going to go in the future, but it's something that you could look into in your local market. So be sure that you're leveraging the platform to close jobs and updates, and play the game while the return on investment makes sense. So if the leads are cheaper on the Google Local Services, Google Guaranteed, then hey, why not do it? I mean, sometimes a lot of people end up flooding the market in the local area, and even that becomes too expensive. So it really just depends on how many people are doing it, honestly. So going back to the same slide again with your plan for 2020. So what's your plan for 2020? Maybe you're doing 1 or 2 of these, but you need to do all of them in order to dominate, and it just makes sense to maybe look into a couple of more avenues to really increase your presence, or maybe just update your website, get some SEO going so that you show up for more of these searches. You need to make the investment, you need to show up so you get more calls, but you just haven't done it. You've been so busy. And hey, I get it. I mean, it's nice to be busy. You're doing something right if you're already busy. This will just help you get more lead flow coming in on a day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out basis to help you grow your revenue. Especially if you got crews that sometimes get slow. Doing all of these things will help keep you in front of all your customers and new customers to find you. So that's kind of the approach. It's about 8-prong approach, and all of it added up just equals a really good web presence. This stuff works. This is a case study of a guy that we took on in late 2018 and really kind of moved up the ladder in local market by just getting a lot more calls. So that's what it means to dominate online for tree service. This is the same slide from earlier, but to reiterate it, went from about 15 to 20 calls per month to 80 calls a month in 2019, which helped increase over $1 million in annual increased revenue. And a lot of that too has to do with like how organized is your business. So I think I mentioned it earlier, like, like one of those softwares like jobber.com, or there's a new one that I've really started vetting out. It's called Tree Plotter. And they're really cool, where you can kind of enter in all your clients' information and do the invoices from there. But you can also take an inventory of all their trees on their property. And so when you go out and give an estimate, you can mark each tree, because there's an aerial satellite view of their property when you punch it into this software. And then you can say, look, these 10 trees are these 10 trees, and we want to work on these 3 trees, and you can mark them. And when your crew goes out there to do the work after you get the estimate, they know exactly where to go, and there's no guesswork. So there's a couple of cool different tools like that I've been vetting out to see who would make a good fit for some of our clients that are looking for those types of services. And so you may want to think about that. Do I still want to do the written paper estimates, or do I need to put everything online so that my office and everybody has a database of all of our customers? It really makes you smarter, and it helps you grow when you do that. But this company is on pace to do $2 million this year, expanding from 6 guys to 12 guys, confidence that they have a consistent and sustainable lead flow day in and day out. So build your custom plan. This is going to look sort of like the actual sheet that we're going to send you. We're going to send you over, if you stay to the end anyway, we're going to send you over this ultimate tree service contractor checklist for internet marketing. And it's everything you need to know, right? It's like everything in a bullet point list. But it's about is your website optimized? Does your website rank on page 1? Is your website mobile friendly? Is it optimized for conversion? Are you consistently creating new content, about tree care, blogging, creating new inbound links back to your website? Have you optimized your Google Maps? Are you active on social media? Are you leveraging email? Are you are you taking advantage of paid marketing like, Google pay-per-click? Do you have proper tracking in place, etc.? So after going through all that for 2020 plan, like what are your top 3 internet marketing initiatives that you need to implement to hit your goal next year? Maybe it's, get my website revamped, do SEO because I know I need to show up higher in search results. Maybe it's add pay-per-click marketing. I know I need to get in a bigger area, a bigger geographical area, so I get more calls, because people are doing those searches, and if you're showing up with those ads, you're going to get calls. And for tree service, what we found is that the jobs are big enough to where when you spend that money on the marketing, you're going to get a return on investment, right? You're going to make a profit on spending money on the marketing, going and giving the estimates on the people that call, and then actually going and doing the work. So I'll open the chat box up and see if anybody's got any chats here. Okay, so one panelist says Single Ops is another great software program for tree services. Yeah, I think I've heard of Single Ops. I haven't dug into it, but I've seen that one. Toby asked, what is that program with the satellite? It's called Tree Plotter. And I'm trying to think of there's a bigger parent company that owns them, and I just met with them at the TCIA Expo in Pittsburgh, and they're basically all tree stuff anyway, and they've broken off to form a software that kind of competes with Jobber and the one that you're talking about, Single Ops, and it's called Tree Plotter. So if you do a search on Google for Tree Plotter, you'll get them. And I'm actually about to do a webinar with those guys too, so you guys can see for yourself how it works. It's really, really cool. I mean, just, we try to do best practice stuff with our clients, so it's a really, really slick tool. Do you offer one price for everything, or would you just run PPC ads? We do. We usually offer a comprehensive approach to marketing, but we do have a PPC starter program. So if your website's already there and you're already ranking, you're getting local calls, but you want to get more calls, we do run Google ads. We can talk about that, Martin, if you want to offline. But yeah, we do that too. But those are your action items. I mean, what are your top 3 internet marketing initiatives that you need to implement, to hit your goal? And it's probably a couple of those that we discussed. Just write them down, and then you'll kind of know. So what are your takeaways? What did you learn? What did you notice? What would you like to share? I mean, if you got something out of it, that's great. We like to put these on for free just because, people are interested in how to get their phone ring, and Hey, you can do some of this stuff yourself. If you, of course, we're here if you need the help. So here's what we've covered. We'll go ahead and just do a final look over of what we've covered. The first thing is set goals for 2020, right? Just flat out, just block off like 30 minutes and just ask yourself, like, look, where do I want to go? Maybe I did 500K this year, 300K, whatever it is, and I want to double, or I want to, at least do 40, 50% more than I did last year. That's fine. Whatever your goal is, just put that down so you have it in front of you. And then the three fundamentals to marketing success is what we covered. We covered how to optimize your website for conversion in 2020. We've covered what the big picture of all the online marketing channels you should be tapping into to maximize your lead flow. That's really what it's all about. I mean, if you get enough calls coming in and you're able to maximize those calls, like you've got to be able to answer the phone. So if you ramp up to 40, 50, 70 calls a month, but you're not able to take but half of them, of course, that's going to be a waste of money. But if you have an office in place that can take the calls, book the appointments, go give estimates, you're going to do great. You just got to make sure you answer that phone. So that's the big picture. You want to look at what it's going to take to get all those calls coming in. The latest trends that you must be aware of in 2020. Develop a custom action plan based on where you are now and what you need to do now, right? So where did you do in 2019, or what are you wrapping up to do? And then what do you want to do next year? That's really what it comes down to. So if you'd like some help, just, you can type in the chat box, help, and then we can make sure we talk offline after this. It's totally up to you. See, we got one more chat question. So he said, how long should it take to see results after you hire a new company to do this? Weeks, months, or years? It really depends. That's a good question. It's a great question because everybody's in a different place online. So some people, they're already ranking really well for their key terms in a major city, right? So maybe they're getting 500 visitors a month already on their website, but their website's old and it's not converting those 500 visitors at a high percentage. So by building a new website that converts with the free estimate forms, click the call buttons, all the different elements you need, maybe now that 500 visitors generates 25 calls, or 30 calls, or 40. Maybe it was only generating 20 calls before. By getting your website right, maybe now it generates 60 calls, because now it's easy for somebody just to click a button to call you. And you'd be surprised how many people bounce off your website if they can't get in touch with you really quick on that homepage. Some people, they'll scroll around on your website. Some people won't. But if you have that click to call button and you have the free estimate form, you're going to get more leads with the same amount of visitors that you were already getting. And then as far as pay-per-click marketing goes, that's pretty instantaneous. I mean, we're doing dozens and dozens of tree service pay-per-click campaigns on Google. So that's pretty instant. That's pretty much like, we build everything out within a week. Separate landing page for those pay-per-click ads, so they're coming from there versus your website, and then you're getting clicks and you're getting calls literally that next week. Right now it's a little slow, just right during this little Christmas holiday section, but come first of the year, it's going to be wide open. People are going to be looking to get stuff done, so that does work really well. So it just really depends on where you're at now, and if we're building a brand new website with a brand new domain, like you don't even have a xyztreeservice.com domain, then it's going to take a little bit longer to convince Google that your websites should rank in your local market. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but if it's already been online a long time, it shouldn't take very long at all. So yeah, if you'd like some help, just post help there, or email me back from some of the invites we sent or whatever. But if you want to talk, yeah, just give me a call directly after this webinar. If you want to write the number down, it's our office number. It's 770-637-3707. That's 770-637-3707. Or if you just want to book an appointment where what we can do is like a little Zoom webinar, just like this right here. This is a webinar, but we can do a Zoom meeting where we look at everything online in your market, and we're all looking at the same Google information on the search. Really helps kind of, you understand what we're talking about. But you can do that at treeservicedigital.com/schedule. So that's basically just our website, treeservicedigital.com, and then /schedule. And we'll be happy to go over your business and literally carve out 30 minutes, 45 minutes on your specific business in your market and go over kind of what it's going to take there. Let's see if we got anything else. So yeah, that'll be everything. We'll go over your keywords, kind of what you want to target, where you're at locally, where you're ranking currently, where you want to go, all of that stuff. So for everybody that stuck around, we're going to give you this reward. It's actually on our website too, but if you wanted to download the ultimate internet marketing checklist for tree service contractors, really it's a PDF that we'll email right to you, but it's a PDF that's got all the conversion elements that you're going to need on your website to generate more calls, more leads, and just get everything right in your local market so that you're the dominant tree service contractor. So just go to treeservicedigital.com /free-checklist. So the website.com and then a / and then free-checklist. And that's free. You'll put your name and your email in, and it'll be emailed out to you as soon as you hit submit. It'll come right to you, and that's going to be a PDF that you can open up, you can print out, you can keep it on your desk. We try to make it look nice and fancy so that it looks good and you can get all the information you need. But hey, I'm really excited. If you guys want to grow, here's a couple of our clients have to say, Wes and Tree Service Digital are total professionals and gave us critical advice on SEO and increasing our web presence. His non-sales approach with his level of expertise are real assets to our business and are truly appreciated. Tyler put Wes and his team are top-notch and professional. They provide outstanding website building and SEO services. My company is steadily growing thanks to the constant hard work that these guys continue to deliver. The SEO services took about 60 to 90 days to start kicking in. However, when it did, it truly made a difference. Great team. So we appreciate those. And again, if you want to talk, hey, we're here. We're always here. We do tree service, tree care marketing all day, every day. So we're not taking 2 weeks off for Christmas. So if you want to talk next week, week after, as long as it's not Christmas Day or whatnot, we'll certainly be available for you. And that way we can get a plan going for next year. Let's see, we got another chat message here, a couple of them. Let's see, really enjoyed this webinar. Sister-in-law's marketing is supposed to be creating a website. Plenty of work for trying to get higher. Can you let pressure on her to be in touch? She doesn't get right. Okay, Charles, hey, we're always here. If your sister-in-law wants to talk about best practices, we can certainly help her in the right direction. If you get that free checklist on our website, she can download that and look at it, and it's really helpful, kind of point you in the right direction. I mean, it's not going to be the technical aspects of the website and all that. We can't put all that in one piece of paper, but it'll kind of give you a roadmap of what you need on your website, how you need to do that. So well, I appreciate that. Thanks, great webinar. Well, that's why we put these on. We like doing them, and we like talking about tree service marketing. So if anybody has any questions, again, just give me a call. You can call 770-637-3707, or you can just go to our website, treeservicedigital.com /schedule. And we'll be happy to make some time for you if you book an appointment on our calendar. And if we don't speak, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and look forward to talking to you soon. All right. Hope you got some information out of it, and hope you have a great day. Have a good one.